Oh boy. Oh boy. So, today, in the most kind of, I can't even say it was blindsided because I feel recently there were a lot of things leading to this. And even like talking to friends, I was like, oh, it's probably going to happen. So, the coronavirus is still ongoing, it's spreading a lot of places, and a lot of different events have been canceled. Of the past, like last week and of recent days, South by Southwest was canceled. Coachella was postponed. An event I was actually really excited to go to, SoCal Retro Gaming Expo, was canceled. And today it was announced that E3, Electronic Entertainment Expo, was canceled. So, what does this mean for E3? It honestly means a lot of different things. Now, a lot of people kind of come out and say, maybe it's for the best because E3's been on a decline. And it has been on a decline in a lot of different ways. Maybe more so for people who are actually going to E3. But even in a lot of different things surrounding E3, there's been a lot of big things towards it. Like Sony has pretty much come out and like they are not doing E3. Last year they didn't do it. This year, well, there is no E3, so they're not doing anything. But it's kind of become this big thing of, well, we can do E3, but we can also have these events come on, these events we can make that can also give the same kind of thing of E3. So at Sony, they have PSX, which I've attended multiple times, in fact. And I've even said, I never got a chance to go to E3. But PSX was what I expected E3 to be. And honestly, I prefer PSX to an E3. Because I feel like at PSX, I can actually play games. And it's a whole different vibe there. With E3, it's like, well, you're going to be in line for 4 hours. You may play this game, you may not. And it's still, at the end of the day, it's still more of an industry event. Like, even if you can get in, but I'm really not trying to spend $200 to go to E3 rather than the $60 to $70 for PSX for the 2 days. But you start seeing all these like fan events come together. So Xbox has their fan event where they come out, and at those things they have their conferences and they can talk about like new releases. Of course, you have Sony like PSX. Nintendo hasn't done that, but they've had their Nintendo Directs, which have been extremely successful. And I even remember at the time when the Nintendo Directs were coming, there was this big talk of Nintendo's not doing a conference? What are they doing? Like, people were really against Nintendo. But they were ahead of the game on that because Nintendo Directs were a perfect source for them to say, throughout the year, we don't need a big conference. We can just have these little mini events throughout the year that can tell what games are coming out, and they don't have to worry about like awkward presentations or any kind of issues. They can control in every aspect. And last year I watched the year before I watched Nintendo's 2010 conference as part of my pre-E3 video series I did, and I mentioned in there I feel like when the Skyward Sword demo kind of went south, that is really what led to Nintendo going to the Direct route, because with a Nintendo Direct, you can control everything. If there's any kind of technical issue, that's not going to be there because you can show the gameplay in whatever light and in the best light possible, rather than like a stage demo, which may work. It could have terrible glitches in there and all sorts of things we've seen throughout E3 countless times. So I feel like Nintendo going the digital route was something that everyone was going to take. And we've seen this too with Sony has the State of Play, which is very Nintendo Direct inspired. But it's getting there. Like, they're getting to a point where, like, okay, they're revealing some pretty sick stuff. Like, the last State of Play was good. With Final Fantasy, they had the Resident Evil 3 reveal. Like, they're doing cool stuff with it. And I feel like everybody's going to be at that thing and go to the point of doing these digital conferences and digital events like that. And this E3, well, I can't say this E3 because it's up in the air. But definitely this year, we're probably going to see every main publisher do something to that extent. Because they did come out and their big press talk, and they mentioned, and quote, "We are also exploring options with our members to coordinate an online experience to showcase industry announcements and news in June 2020. Updates will be shared on e3expo.com. So pretty much what I get from that is that they're going to try and go the route of, well, we can't obviously have the convention and all that, but we're going to stream at least the conference announcements. Now, that definitely, well, as a viewer, it definitely is a lot easier to see all the info when it's just kind of in a very micro kind of package rather than like a very bloated experience. But I honestly feel the fun of E3 is kind of those bloated things, because you get a lot of like really out there moments and all these different things there that I kind of miss. And especially with older E3, the reactions of certain announcements, I feel would not be the same had it been in a digital thing. Like when Twilight Princess was revealed for the first time, like that is still like the craziest E3 reaction. Or Sony when Final Fantasy VII was revealed, when Last Guardian was revealed, when Shenmue 3 was revealed, like stuff like that, like the audience reaction, everything else, like it's really what makes it so good. It makes like a lot of those stuff way better. And you still get that with digital because you got people who can stream the reactions and all that, but I feel like the whole auditorium, like all together kind of getting excited is like another fun thing, along with the very cringeworthy moments that also come with the conferences. Like, I'm talking to you, EA. I'm talking to you. But it's probably going to go digital. Like, Nintendo's going to maybe do something. Sony has been very quiet. I don't know what Sony's doing. Honestly, there's a thought I was thinking of a while ago. I almost feel in some way the PS5 could be pushed back to next year. And I'm just saying that due to like with the Corona stuff going on, I feel like manufacturing it is going to be a big issue. And they're going to have to push it to next year. I almost feel like that's going to happen. Like, I won't be shocked if it does. But if not, alright, cool. PS5's out this year. I'm ready for it. But if not, it's like, you know, I can see that happening. But I know for sure Nintendo's gonna have something. Microsoft said they're still gonna do something because like they have a new console coming out this year. They're gonna try and show their stuff out to see who wants the Xbox Series, whatever that name really bothers me. I'm not gonna get into that because I've already mentioned it before. But boy, Microsoft really just needs to like get someone who's in charge of the names of these things and like fire them, because they ruined it. Xbox 360, Xbox One. Like, come on. But yeah, I don't know this year. It's gonna be interesting to say the least. I don't know how a lot of this stuff is gonna work out, especially in terms of my E3 stuff, because well, there is no E3, so there probably isn't gonna be any of like my usual series stuff with my pre-E3. But I don't know. We'll learn more. We'll see. Because apparently this year, Warner Brothers was going to have a conference. They were going to talk about like some new games. Like I guess some Harry Potter game. Maybe another Batman game. Like I don't know what's going on. Like, so maybe it's still going to happen. Maybe it'll be at a digital event. But yeah, we'll see. The only thing I'm curious of, because there's been a lot of talks of E3 kind of going downhill, and especially in attendance. Apparently, like people who've gone to E3 for ages, they're like E3, the attendance was like really low, and there's like, it's like, why are we even at E3 right now? There's not really too much for people to see, because they either have seen it during Judges Week, which is where a lot of journalists go and see games before E3, and a lot of the stuff's mostly behind closed doors. And there's also a lot of things. Like last year, there was that ESA leak where like every journalist who went to E3 got their information leaked with like full name and address and all their information. Like, so a lot of people were really like kind of against E3 this year. Like I think like Jeff Keighley came out and said, yeah, I'm not attending E3 this year. They need to do better. And yeah. So for him, it's like, well, I was going to go to E3. Now it's like, well, doesn't matter to me. Yeah, I'm just blathering on. I didn't have a script. I'm just going off the fly on it. And there's probably some more stuff I can maybe mention on the situation, but there's really not much. Like, E3's taking a break this year and going in a different direction. The only thing I'm curious about is what is this gonna do if like the people realize, hey, you know, going this digital route of just showing it in a presentation worked pretty well. Like, do we need E3? You know, we could always just around the E3 time just post this stuff, and that's really gonna do it in too. But I don't know, because there's still gonna be a need for E3 because people need to actually get hands-on with these games. Like that Avengers game. Like when they showed it during Square's conference, I'm like, all right, it looks a little weird, but maybe the gameplay's good. Then gameplay leaked of it from E3, and people who played it and they're like, oh, that game's beyond rough. Like, you need those impressions there, because if you don't have it, then the game's gonna come out and you're just like, whoa, it's a little rough there, or you really are only basing it off of the trailer you showed. And as we all know at E3, it's a lot of cinematic trailers, so you really don't get a good sense of the gameplay itself until you actually like see footage of it. So yeah, I think I'm gonna call it there because I've gone on long enough. But yeah, I just wanted to just kind of talk a little about this situation. I don't do a lot of these videos too much these days, just talking like this very off the top of my head. But I had to talk about this because this was definitely kind of a wild story. Like waking up like this morning and saying, "Oh, E3's canceled," which I knew last night. Like last night, I saw the thing on Twitter about the rumor that it was getting canceled. Which the way the rumor was talked about was pretty funny. It was like last week, and it's like someone on a cam site was like, "Yeah, one of my clients works for E3 and was talking about it," and people were like, "Yeah, right. That's not happening." And then this week, it's like, "Oh, she was exactly right." So that's gonna be it for me right now. I'm gonna stop before I make a fool of myself. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Maybe there'll be some E3 stuff. Maybe we'll have the digital conferences after all, and I'll be able to watch some stuff. Maybe make some videos on it. But for now, it's up in the air. So we'll just have to wait and see. So yeah, that's gonna be it from me. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy out there, and I'll see you later. Ooh. Yeah. I may need to get that checked out.